Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 2, 3 points. One is our total fertility rate has already started leveling off. According to the latest survey, we have reached 2.1 or below, which means the growth in population will start leveling off. So, our window of opportunity for growth is the next 15 to 20 years when the people already born become young and come into working age and things like that. In a way, it is good. So, whatever we do, we have to achieve it in the next 20 years, because after that the age profile of the population will start changing dramatically, and we will have to do. So what we really need to do is we need to rethink the way we are looking at the relationship between the state, the markets, and India, and the society. So far, we have followed the so called foolish Western models, where I think we have relied too much on saying market economics or the state and individual rights. We need to bring in society, family, and all into the economic calculation. That is the first thing. We need to follow Kautilyan economics, where I think the state is effective but small and leaves a lot of resources in the hands of individuals, groups, and communities so that they can do what is best for themselves. So we cannot have very high taxation levels, which actually rob the people and end up being swallowed by politicians and crooks and vested interest groups. So we need to have, I think the Arthashastra, they mentioned about one-sixth of your produce is what you share with the state in terms of taxes. I think that's a good range. 15 to 20% is where we need to have taxes, direct and indirect taxes to be. That's where we need to go. Once you go there, you need to give a role for community. I think if you remember Raghuram Rajan's story on the third pillar, he said America is failing because state and markets that exist, but the community has collapsed. Now, in India, community has been strong, but we are trying to destroy it by using Western methods. We are destroying family, we are destroying society by saying individual rights and things like that, where actually the individual is pitted against his family, his community, and other things, which can never work. So we need to move back from that situation, where I think, you see, social order cannot exist purely because the state exists. The state cannot impose order without by bypassing the structures of society that already exist. So we have to make use of the structures of society in a positive way. And for that, I would say, unless you bring down levels of taxation of the state to which are reasonable, so that additional resources are collected by this society itself for the welfare of its own people. For example, I would say, for a thing, every Indian who has a job, who is earning an income, should have the right to contribute, say, 1 or 2 or 3% of his salary to a community organization of his choice, so that they are able to take care of the community. So it's like a form of private taxation that you allow. So we need to allow for new forms of society taking care of its own and its people. Then only we are going to prosper, because the Western model is collapsing everywhere. If you see, for the last 15 years, you had crisis after crisis. You had the global financial crisis, followed by the Eurozone crisis. Now you have COVID crisis. I mean, you think that printing money is a solution to keeping people in jobs. It's not going to happen. So I think we need to rethink how we look at the economy in future. A low state level taxation, a greater role for society and family in taking care of its own people, and that's the way to move forward. And most important, I think we should not worry about just the top line of GDP growth. We should worry about the quality of the growth. That is, we need to incentivize sectors that are highly labor intensive, where more people will be employed, where I think a lot more people can actually contribute without actually, instead of having sectors where, actually, for example, petroleum, petrochemicals employ very few people, but we have spent billions of dollars in investing in those sectors. Whereas in light manufacturing, in services, which is where the maximum employment potential is, we have actually not invested much. So we need to change the structure of our job markets by incentivizing investments like in areas which will create jobs. So the quality of growth matters as much as the top line GDP. As far as the $1 trillion business is concerned, I think we should reach $5 trillion around in fiscal 26-27, and 31-32 we should reach $10 trillion, because you need a nominal growth about 12 to 15% consistently, and rupee appreciation against the dollar to reach that level. I think that will happen because the rupee is too undervalued in terms of purchasing power parity. It is 4 times as much. Our actual PPP is $10 trillion right now, not the equivalent of 3.